Welcome to Lesson 2.3. In our last session, we discussed the productive cycle, which represents the nurturing love between a mother and a child. It is a cycle of giving and growth. However, if you observe nature, you know that growth without limits leads to chaos. A forest that grows unchecked becomes a jungle that chokes itself. A fire that burns without boundaries becomes an inferno. Therefore, nature provides a counterforce to establish order. This is what we call the controlling cycle, also known as the destructive cycle. Shutterstock, while the word destructive sounds negative. In feng shui, we prefer to view this as a cycle of discipline and regulation. If the productive cycle is the mother providing nourishment, the controlling cycle is the strict grandfather providing discipline. It ensures that no single element becomes too powerful and dominates the system. To find this cycle, we look at the star shape inside the pentagon of elements. In this relationship, an element does not feed the one next to it. Instead, it skips over the next element to control the one after it. Let us visualize these 5 interactions of control so you can recognize them in a home. First, we look at water and fire. Water extinguishes fire. This is the most intuitive relationship. If a fire is burning out of control, water is the only force that can stop it. In a home, this means the energy of flow and wisdom controls the energy of passion and impulsiveness. Next, fire controls metal. Think of a blacksmith. Metal is hard, rigid, and unyielding. The only way to shape it or bend it is to apply intense heat. Fire melts metal. It takes the rigidity and softens it. Then, metal controls wood. Think of an axe chopping down a tree or a pair of shears pruning a bush. Wood is the energy of expansion, wanting to grow in every direction. Metal is the energy of precision that cuts back the excess growth to give it shape. Without metal, wood becomes overgrown and wild. Moving on, wood controls earth. This one is sometimes harder to visualize, but think of the roots of a tree. As a tree grows, its roots push down into the soil, breaking up the earth and holding it in place. The roots consume the nutrients from the soil. Therefore, wood parts and depletes earth. It prevents the earth from becoming too solid and impenetrable. Finally, earth controls water. Think of a dam built across a river. Water wants to flow freely and endlessly. Earth provides the solid banks or the dam that stops the water, contains it, and directs it. Earth dams water. It gives boundaries to the flow so it does not flood the landscape. Why do you need to master this cycle? Because this is your primary tool for fixing problems of excess. As a feng shui practitioner, you will often walk into a home where one element is screaming too loudly. For example, perhaps a client is suffering from anxiety, insomnia, and high blood pressure. You look at their bedroom and see it is painted bright red with triangular shapes and bright lights. This is an excess of fire. To fix this, you do not necessarily add more earth to exhaust it. You might need to bring in the police force. You bring in water. You introduce blue colors. mirrors, or fluid shapes to directly control and suppress that excess fire. We use this cycle not to destroy the energy, but to bring a runaway element back into balance. You are using the laws of nature to impose limits. By understanding both the productive cycle to boost weak energy and the controlling cycle to suppress strong energy, you now have the full set of tools to harmonize any space.